The simplified Avon Leadership Program presents an easy way to show how much you can earn based on your team's actual sales performance, including your personal sales, all in one simple table. This makes it easier for you to know a suitable earnings plan. The moment you become a sales leader, your earnings can potentially grow exponentially with the help of your dealers and leader downlines. Higher levels will be within reach because your earnings will come from the personal sales and downlines from up to 3 sales generations. Simplified leadership framework table to see how it works. The better your sales performance, the more you grow your commission. Exclusive incentives and recognition. Get access to Avon's exclusive incentives and progression bonuses for sales leaders. From home items, cash prizes, to trips overseas. These exclusive treats will be yours to enjoy along with additional earnings when you hit your targets. Your hard efforts won't go unnoticed because Avon has a recognition program that gives out awards to outstanding sales leaders. One of the many reasons that makes you proud to be part of the Avon team. The time is now. Be part of Avon's pride and become a sales leader. By using your Avon Grow app tool, you can able to recruit new SLCs and potential franchise dealers. Next, you could retain your level of association within 2 franchise dealers. And next, you could reach out to your inactive 2 to 3 months franchise dealers. And lastly, you could re-engage your removed dealers or you could reinstate them on the system. And how to earn points? Points from 1 to 7 for the SLCs or SL. 7 is for SLC appointment, SLC appointed within the month with 2 qualified FD recruits. 3 points for new recruit qualified FDs registered within the month. 1 point for reinstated FDs, removed franchise dealers, activated and qualified within the month. 1 point for retained franchise dealers. Franchise dealers with no purchase order for 2 consecutive months, activated and qualified within the month. 1 point for level of association to retained franchise dealers, new franchise dealers recruited previous month, activated and qualified within the month. And 5 points for Gen 1 sales. Hit the Gen 1 brochure price sales target. And for your monthly target, level 1, 2, and 3 for your first and second month. Get started! Exclusive for new sales leader candidates enrolled from January 2021 and December 2021. Get as much as 86,400 cash rewards and 600 worth of business tools. For successful sales leader candidates, SL Upline can receive mentors bonus as much as 2,700 cash rewards per promoted downline sales leader. Now, in leadership framework, there are 4 levels of being a sales leader, and there are 1 up to 4 classifications of being on its level. What are they? Level 1 is called the UM. Level 2 is the AUM. Level 3 is the EL, and the highest level is the SEL. A newly sales leader candidate must undergo for a period of 3 levels of milestone. In the first category, they must recruit one new franchise dealer with a minimum purchase of 1,500 brochure price sales. Within the month, their rewards will be appointment kit worth 300, recruitment flyers, prospecting flyers, Avon brochure SLC kit. On the next level, if they could achieve the 15,000 brochure price sales group sales within a minimum 4 active representatives within a month, they could be rewarded for a cash of 500 pesos. And for the third milestone, before reaching the position, they must achieve 25,000 BPS group sales with minimum of 7 active representatives within a month. And this sales leader candidate will be rewarded with 1,000 worth of cash prize. For the level 1 leadership program, the UM1 title, anytime with the leadership level of association 1 to 3, as what I've mentioned earlier, and they must have a minimum of 10 active G1 representatives. Downline attainment of UM1 title within LLOA 1 to 3 and completion of developmental books 1 to 3 months training. The downline progression reward would be 2,000 in cash, celebration budget worth 400. UM's kit includes brochures, recruitment, flyers, prospecting flyers, and 1 Avon product worth 300. While the upline reward would be 500 cash and celebration budget worth 200. In the table, you can see that when you reach a group sales of 40,000 in UM1 level, they could have 5.25% rate for G1 or the first level of downline, and 1.50% will be given to the G2 rate. G2 rate are those being recruited by your first level of franchise sales leader. Now, in leadership length of association 1 to 5, the UM1 must achieve 70,000 brochure price sales group sales with minimum of 12 active representatives or sales leader recruits within a month. And the month-to-date group collection efficiency rate of 90%. The rewards would be AR and sales growth reward 1 of 1,000 cash. When the UM1 achieved 100,000 brochure price sales group sales with minimum of 15 active representatives within a month, the month-to-date group collection efficiency rate would be 90%. ARN sales growth reward 2 is 1,500 cash. And in that case, they could be appointed to UM2 if their group sales would reach to 120,000. So the G1 rate would be 5.75 and the G2 rate would still the same for 1.50%. And when the newly appointed UM2 title has attained any time within the leadership length of association 1 to 9, and the month-to-date group collection efficiency rate is still 90%. The rewards are for the downline UM2 progression reward 2,000 pesos cash, and the upline reward would be the cash of still 2,000 pesos. Only the appointed leaders from UM1 up to SEL4 could enjoy the percentage rate that is given for the G1 rate, the Generation 2 rate, and the Generation 3 rate for AUM until SEL4, depending on their group sales every month. Leadership length of association is the number of months from date of SLC appointment. Active representatives is defined as representatives with any amount purchased within the month. And for the first time progression to AUM level or the second level, the advanced unit manager retain title with average of month-to-date group collection efficiency rate of 95% for 3 consecutive months. So the progression rewards would be AUM progression and retention reward of 8,000 cash. For the AUM 1 position appointee, they must have at least 25 G1 active representatives with 160,000 group sales. For the G1 rate, they could have a 6.50%. G2 rate is 1.50%. And G3 rate is 0.75%. And for the AUM2, they must have 35 G1 active representatives with a group sales of 400,000. For their G1 rate is 6.75 and G2 rate is still constant of 1.50%, and the G3 rate is still 0.75%. While the requirements in order for you to become an executive leader or the EL, programs to EL level retain title with average month-to-date groups collection efficiency rate of 95% for 3 consecutive months. And they should have at least 50 G1 active representatives with 665,000 group sales, so that they could generate a G1 rate of 7.50%. G2 rate has been increased to 1.90%, and G3 rate increased to 0.25%, which is a total of 1%. For Executive Leader 2, they should have 65 G1 active representatives, and their group sales must reach up to 1,065,000 so that they could have the G1 rate of 8%, G2 rate of 1.90%, and G3 rate of 1%. For the senior executive leader level, the requirements to progress to SEL level is to retain title with average of month-to-date group collection efficiency rate of 95% for 3 consecutive months. SEL1 should have at least 80 G1 active representatives and reach for about 2 billion of group sales in brochure price sales. For that, they could have a G1 rate of 8.75%, G2 rate of 2.10%, and G3 rate of 1%. For the SEL2 is 130 G1 active representatives with 2,665,000 of group sales. 8.75% will be given for G1 rate, G2 rate of 2.10, and still G3 rate of 1%. For the SEL3 is 160 G1 active representatives with 5,330,000 group sales, so that they could have G1 rate of 9%, G2 rate of 2.25%, and G3 rate of 1.50%. And lastly, for the senior executive level 4 is they must have 200 G1 active representatives that earned a group sales of 8 million so that they could have still a 9% of G1 rate, 2.25% of G2 rate, and 1.50% for G3 rate. Progression rewards for SEL progression and retention reward is 50,000 cash. For the program reminders, all cash prices are net of tax. Rewards can only be availed once. Lower rewards are not prerequisite to avail of the higher rewards. SL will be disqualified once demoted during title retention. Group sales, personal sales, and active representative requirements should be completed within the month, not cumulative over 2 or more months. And lastly, no PDA or PP upon claiming of prices. For the upline sales leader, they could get 1,000 with every qualified SLC appointment. For qualified SLC appointment is defined as new SLC within the month with at least 2 new FD recruits with at least 1.5 cumulative BPS purchase each within the month of sign-in. While the new SLC gets 500 when SLC recruits 2 qualified new FD recruits. Plus, they could get a business starter kit upon qualification I Am Ahead program. Qualified new FD recruit is defined as a new FD with the month at least 1.5 cumulative brochure price sales within the month of sign-in. And to note, only titled sales leaders are entitled for winning cash when she appoints a qualified sales leader candidate. And you could ask your BDM or the branch manager for more details.